Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode. We happen to have dragons flying around right now. The dome on Mount Monadnock has collapsed, and the dragons that live inside the mountain have come out and attacked. So we drove by a place that has a flat for rent, an apartment for rent, excuse me. And it doesn't look too bad. I mean, we would like to actually be able to go in and see it.
From the outside.
Yeah, we've seen it from the outside and it doesn't look bad.
In the dark.
Yeah, we've seen it from the outside in the dark and it doesn't look bad, but we need to see it from the inside during the day. It has a place out there for a garden. It looks like the garden's weeded over. John, our 6-month-old, is getting into things. And anyway, so it's a little more rural than this place is. We wouldn't have to listen to the town horn going off. We definitely wouldn't have to deal with this over here. What I mean by that is smelling the smoke of our neighbor smoking, the noise, the music, her having sex. You can hear her having sex.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a limit, There's a freaking limit.
The landlord doesn't do any damn good because he doesn't fucking care as long as he gets the rent.
Yeah, so.
Asshole.
The first thing we need to do is contact all the freaking people we need to contact and let them know about income changes and that kind of stuff, because there will be adjustments made. But and then even with the adjustments made while we're here, when we move, there will be additional adjustments made. It's like kind of frustrating. Thankfully, some of that stuff is just done automatically on a computer somewhere. But at the same time, if we pay more in rent, that means our Section 8 will be reduced, but other things may be increased, if you understand what I'm saying. Nice thing about that place is I could throw a rifle over my shoulder and walk out into the woods.
I think I've got it fixed.
Good.
I think it's just stretched out.
Okay.
But it's still got.
Yeah, I see the hole. My wife is it knitting or crochet? Knitting. So they.
And I think an animal stuck their claw in my knitting and made a hole, and I think it's lucky.
Oh.
If he lays in my damn stuff. Dog.
John right now is under here playing with a Q-tip.
From now on, he stays the hell off of my chair, whether nobody likes it or not. I don't care.
Okay. And like I said, John's playing with a Q-tip. Now, check this out, folks. Oh, there you are, right there. Earlier today, twice, the kittens locked themselves in the bedroom, and they seemed to be just okay with it. They didn't scratch or whine or whatever to get out. They just, I guess they went and took a nap.
And scratch or yowl or anything else. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, okay. But John's under the computer desk right now. Of course, he may be 6 months old, but he's still a kitten.
Mentally, kind of.
Yeah, so he's still like into everything, and you can distract him pretty easy.
Unless he hears the door open.
Yeah, oh gosh, if he hears
God dang it, then we're screwed.
Yeah, if he hears the door, if he even thinks the door is going to be open, he runs over there, and he's so fast. I mean, it's
like a jet propelled.
Yeah, and it's like,
Damn it, Tom.
you know, I'm taking Lucky out for a walk, and there's junk.
Out the door, under the car.
Yeah, it's like, oh, God.
Damn you.
Yeah, I mean, it's right now it's not difficult to get them out from under the car, but
It's no fun either.
it's no fun, right? And when we kind of had a thaw, a January thaw, which probably isn't going to last very long,
I think it's gonna last 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days. Once, I mean, you know, when it's snow and when there's snow and ice outside, it's not that enjoyable to try and get them out from under the car because you have to wrap up, you have to go outside, you have to get on the ground,
Get a toy.
get a toy, get something to get his attention.
Entice him.
Yeah, entice him over. Right now, you know, most of the snow and ice is melted, but you know that's not going to last forever. And what would be nice if we could just figure out a way to get him to not run out the freaking door. But ooh,
It's not like you need to go to bed.
yeah, I think I need to go to bed.
Damn it.
It's almost 12. It's almost 1 o'clock, I think. But anyway, I did find I don't know where I put it. I found a gun rack, but it's only for 2 guns. And the other gun rack that I can't find, I'm not sure where I put it. I think I put it in the storage unit. Excuse me, it's for 3. I'd like to keep I'd like to not put a 2 gun rack up. I'd rather put up a 3 gun rack. But yeah, I mean the point of a gun rack is just to keep the guns out of the way. Because frankly, right now they're in the way, and I can put the bow up there as well. I need to get the bow out, pull it back, and have my wife measure it. Although I think arrows are somewhat standardized today, and you can buy them at Walmart for less than $3 an arrow, but they don't have the tips on them. That means I have to buy tips. I mean, I have to buy target tips. I have to buy hunting tips. I have to buy fishing tips. There's 3 types of tips that I have to buy. And the fishing tips, thankfully, I don't need more than, say, 3 to 5 of those. Because how likely is it that I'm going to actually lose an arrow that I'm using for fishing? Because it has a line tied to it or attached to it. It's the hunting and target tips that I'm more likely to lose. I mean the whole arrow. I mean the fletching, the staff, and the tip. You know, I'm more likely to lose those if they're for target or hunting. And maybe for hunting, I'm less likely to lose it because I'm going to be more cautious about my hits. You know, I'm not going to fire unless I basically know that I'm going to hit something. I'm going to hit it the right way, i.e. the heart or the lungs, preferably the heart. But the target, you know, I'm more likely to just use target, just keep using them, you know. But see, I could probably put a gun and the bow up together. I'm not sure I can do that, but I might be able to do that. But the thing that the rack that I found only holds 2 rifles, and that's not quite what I want. And now next month, my plan is. Can you just leave the hole in it?
I can't fix it.
Can you just leave the hole there?
No, it'll look stupid. Who wants a sweater with a hole in it?
Well, if you make it, sweetie, I'll wear it.
It's my sweater, goddammit. Fucking dog.
Now, next month, what I'd like to do,
He screwed it up. Lost.
what I'd like to do next month is buy my Amazon order, which the Amazon order is basically bugging out items, but there are like 3 or 4 books in the shopping cart.
Stuck in the thing. Bedroom, she wants out.
So anyway, the Amazon shopping cart is basically bugging out items, but there are 3 or 4 books on there. The other books are just gonna have to wait, because we need to be able, if it comes down to it and we need to leave, we need to have the items so that we can survive. And this is my feeling about a tent. I'd rather not have a tent, although a tent would be warmer. You figure approximately 10 degrees warmer inside of a tent. And the winters up here get well below 0. So, I mean, I'm talking about Fahrenheit, not Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're talking about below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I don't know what that is Celsius, so we're talking about cold. So I'm thinking of a camouflage tarp. Why? Because if you wake up or whatever, you can look to the sides, you can look that way and that way, and you can see what's going on around you. Well, in a tent, you don't know what's going on. You might hear something out there. You don't know if it's a bear, a moose, a deer, a coon, a possum, a person. You don't know. And it's better to have a tarp, or you can keep the rain from falling on you. You can still see 360. Is it 360 or 365?
360.
360 around you. So that's so I'm thinking next month the Amazon order, and the month after that ammunition. But there are a lot of issues, a lot of things we have to consider. I mean, we have a notebook where we have a list of stuff that we need to get. We don't even know where the medical box is right now. And that's not good.
Well, we had to move everything for the asshole.
Hell,
And damn inspections. I could tell them to go to hell with their fucking inspection.
So, my wife has this. So, if we did have to bug out, this is light.
That's one good thing. If we get off of Section 8, we get them out of our lives.
It's true.
They can't tell us how to live our life. Assholes. Done well.
Whoops. So this is light. My wife can carry this. It's short. She can handle this. I can handle the AR, although we can switch. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me which one of us has which one. And then one of us can carry the Mosin for more precise, or more, not necessarily precise, but more long-range shooting. And the Mosin has larger ammo, so it'll take a moose, a bear, a deer, anything like that. The thing is, thinking about that, moose, bear, deer, that would feed us for quite a while. I mean, if you think of the size of these critters, these creatures, especially a moose and a bear, they're not small. They're not freaking small.
Even a deer.
Yeah, even a deer. I mean, we would we'd be eating quite a while on all three of those things. Um, Now, possum, coon, squirrel, uh, what are those
Chipmunk,
chipmunks? What are those critters that make that awful noise?
meerkat.
Meerkats.
It's not like they're dying.
Yeah, those things. I mean, of course, each of those things have a different size, but like a
It would
squirrel.
be more than a meal or two.
Yeah, I mean, a squirrel and a chipmunk, that wouldn't be a whole lot of meat. It would serve us, but it wouldn't last it would last like one meal. On the other hand, a meerkat, a possum, a coon, that might last 2 or 3 meals. The thing,
Meerkats are edible.
I'm sure they are. I mean, if you have to eat something,
I know, but
doesn't mean it'd be pleasant or tasteful, but hopefully, I mean, with all honesty, folks, I hope there's never a bug out situation. And one of the scenarios that I see possibly happening, is the economy just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. If that's the case, I mean, I can't say how well we would do or not do because we're not in that situation. We have a little bit of food, but not a lot of food. If we have to bug out, then we have to carry stuff, either in the motor car or on our backs. And if we have to bug out and we have to carry stuff on our backs, then
it's going to be very difficult.
yeah, it'll be very difficult. I mean, one, we're just not in the best shape. Two, we both have our health issues. Okay, um, my wife could take her cannabis oil with her, so at the least she has treatment there. But she won't have the more, I don't know how you say, conventional treatment, more conventional modern medical treatment, and that would concern me, and I don't want that to happen. But we need to get more cannabis oil. Yeah. So, look, I don't think a lot of people really understand that when you're trying to prep, when you're trying to be a prepper, I would not equate ourselves with some preppers because we don't have a stockpile of ammunition, a stockpile of guns, a stockpile of food. We have what we can manage and afford to get. And frankly, that's not a whole lot. But let me tell you something. If some idiot like that guy in Washington State, whatever his name was, he'd get a bullet in the heart. Actually, you know what? We wouldn't shoot him. We'd shoot him in the butt. Just
No, the head would be the best because we get rid of it permanently.
yeah.
They couldn't harass anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much we would put up with. But and look, right now in the situation we're in, that's one thing. But if it ever became a what hits the fan scenario, it would be a totally different situation. Right now, we might be friendly with people that in a what hits the fan scenario we would not be friendly with. We might help people out right now that we would not help out if it hits the fan. You don't know. You don't freak.
One guy went to, that Walmart. I wonder where he went to.
Oh.
Hey, we haven't seen him for a long time.
Yeah, we haven't seen this one guy we helped out at Walmart. But see, helping somebody out like that right now is one thing.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible to help somebody out, but in a situation where it hits the fan, we won't be able to help anybody out. We're going to barely make it ourselves. I mean, I have a cookbook on uh, mountaineering, not mountaineering, mountain man cooking. But I'm sorry, it doesn't. What we need is a cookbook that deals specifically with what we actually have available. And like up here, for some reason, you cannot find 25, 50-pound bags of beans. It would be,
buy them online, can you?
yeah, you can buy them online, but the shipping is like,
Horrendous.
yeah, it's like, gosh. So,
Well, I don't know why.
yeah,
We get like 2-pound bags of rice and
2-pound bags of beans.
of beans. I mean,
Yeah, 5
I
pounds
didn't
of
even
rice.
see rice there.
No, I didn't either.
That's a look kind of, I think.
Yeah. So, and one thing, somebody said something to me once about when I unloaded my bug out bag. Oh, you have an awful lot of food. Well, I don't think 3 days worth of food is enough because you don't know how long you're going to be out there. And like this thing right here. This may be a 22, but it's still going to make noise. People are still going to hear it. Now, the thing about a 22 is you can.
It's not going to be a big thing that's going to echo,
True. You can still take a deer down with this. You might have to pump them full of lead, but you can still take a deer down with it if you had to. 223, same thing. You could take a deer down with a 223. Again, you'd have to pump them full of lead, but you could take them down. So both my wife and I would have a gun that, the thing is, see this? This is what, I think 10 rounds right here. I don't want my wife having a 10 round.
That's barely enough to shoot a squirrel.
Yeah, they have like 50 and 175 round magazines, or what are they, barrel or whatever magazines are round. And that's what I'd like to get my wife. But, that's not on the top of the priority list right now. So, this is a 22. I mean, it's not gonna. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get my wife something other than for the sights, because this is a little
small.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean,
Very
looking at it right here,
hard
it's
to find.
yeah. The rear part of it, if you can see what I'm pointing, I guess you can't really see too well what I'm pointing at. It's not.
Draw a bead on it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean that'll work, but
You're gonna be struggling.
yeah. So I'd like to figure out something I can do for my wife for that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't. Personally, I don't. I don't know. I mean, see, it's just I don't like that. I mean, it's not quite.
It's small.
Yeah, it's small. It's not quite what I would like my wife to have. Will it work? Yeah, it'll work. But I'd like to do something with it so she can have a more precise, aim.
Sight.
Yeah, more precise sight. Because that just not. That's, even though it's a 22, it's still no. But I don't want to hear any of this BS about, well, it's just a 22. You wait till my wife fills you full of 22 lead. And then let me hear, well, you won't be able to say, oh, it's just a 22, because you'll be dead. So,
shoot you in the damn foot, and then you'll really yowl.
yeah. So,
asshole.
And another nice thing about my wife's gun is it's short, it's small, it's light, so she can carry it, and you're not likely to see her. Like, if you see her, you might not notice the gun, because it's, she can hold it in such a manner that you'll see her rather than see the gun. But, and it's light, so, she can carry her kit separate, other than just the gun. She can carry her kit. And I know you should have a kit that's interchangeable, but you know, look, we don't have the money to just go out and buy stuff. We wish we did. You know, you want to donate to us $10,000, $15,000, we'll take it. But that's not going to happen, is it? So we're going to have to make do. So I've talked about a lot of things, and this video is, I can't tell without glasses. It's over 20 something minutes long. So bye bye.